Hello, good evening. This is Margaret Owolabi, and today we want to talk about water. Water is very important. Fella will say water, you no get enemy. You no get enemy. In as much as we deal with animals, please, whatever we can drink, don't give to the animals. They might not die immediately, but be rest assured that they are coming back to haunt you in terms of production, productivity, and mortality. Now, there are several values to look out for in water. First, the physical parameters. You see, is it colorless? Is it odorless? From there, that's when you can have an idea if this water is good or bad. And please don't be deceived. There are some water that look so wonderful from outside, but by the time they go through screening, you realize that they are terrible, and vice versa. Some water looks I've seen it water that's especially this newly drilled borehole. You see them, it's brownish, it has some colors, but by the time we screen, we realize that no microbes. They might not be good in terms of what do they call it, chemical parameters, but no microbes. We've also noticed one thing, especially when water has high alkalinity. By the time we're running the what do they call it, the microbial profiling, you hardly find microbes. But unfortunately, alkaline water you can't use for fish. Perhaps maybe you could use for poultry. Yeah, maybe, but not for fish. So now let's talk about microbial content. There are various ways you could do this. Like in poultry, you could have microfilter. In poultry, you could deslime your water line regularly. Yes, you could do that regularly. You should disinfect your water that they drink every day. Every day. You know why? Now, whatever, even if your water is good from the source, it accumulates in the tank. Some people don't wash their tank. Then the water line, it keeps going through that water line. Spirogyra would have formed, layers of dirt would have formed, and the birds keep drinking it. This also applies to fish farmers in terms of their water delivery system. Yes, the pipe from the borehole into the reservoir tank through other pipes before it get delivered into the fish vats. Yeah. So even if you wash your tank, how about this? It's very genuine. It happened to one of my clients, and we did our social hall was good, and she spun. And voila, 2 days after, they were all gone. All she needed to do was to deslime. Shikena. So it applies to fish farmers and poultry farmers. We need to be up to date with our water system. Now let me tell you what it does to the fish farmers. Let's now come to fish. My honorable fish people. Water. Hey, if you people can just take out time or take out a budget for your water. I used to have a farmer. He would come in. Oh, where are you, Dr. Taya? What happened? It's like this weather has changed though. I'm sending my boys with the water. And many times when he does that, he's usually on point. He has studied his fishes. He has, some things are just experience. We might not have it, but some farmers really do. He will tell you. Now that farmer has combined his experience with his exposure to a doctor. Because I had schooled him. Or maybe I didn't school him. Maybe we were able to solve his problem, and he realized that it was worth it. I asked him one day that, don't you get tired? And he sat me down and gave me analysis of if he has a good production, then how much is the stipend? Even if I do it every week, how much is it? So now let's come back. Let's come back to my, I'll start from the chemical analysis. It can do a lot of havoc, and it will look like our village people are following us. So what we do here, we have different clients. Before I used to say, oh, water engineers, those people will just do something and you don't think about I know we have water engineers here. I sent invites to you on purpose. You people just do things for farmers and you don't go back. But after I decided that it is not fight, let us educate them. You see, whatever charges you want to give the farmer, charge it, impute whatever lab service that is there. It's important to check the parameters before and after, before you can give them go ahead to use water to spawn. You also let them know it's not permanent. The things you have put here can wane. So you should let them know that they should not sleep and say, oh, we've corrected our water, and because such takes farmers by surprise. They've been having, maybe they've had like 10 good production and one fails. Oh boy, they will try again and they will keep trying. Before they know it, they've gone 6 months without production. Now, another way we address it is we recommend treatments per I'm trying to remember per pumping. So these things will change the hardness, will tweak the pH, then our hardness, our ammonia, what they call it, iron nitrites. We all know that we just need something to absorb them, and they will have smooth cells. So let's go to the microbial parameters. Microbial parameters is very, very important and people take it for granted. The fishes, all their life, they use it in the water. They breathe, they drink, they eat in the water. So a little exposure to microorganism, they would have a high dose of it. And it's just a little contamination can take all of them out. So it is important we wash our tank like no man's business. Wash your water holding tank, your fish holding tank, deslime your lives regularly, so that there won't be sludge, there won't be accumulation of these things. It is important. There is no magic to it. If we can do it this way, then another thing I try to advise farmers, you don't need to use it every time, but it's important you have aerators. When there is an emergency, I'm talking about human now, and they can't breathe, or they are having labored breathing, what do? What in a good hospital? You see them, they put oxygen masks. So just say aerator like your oxygen mask in your farm. You don't have to use it all the time. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Maybe there is an upsurge of ammonia, or there is an upsurge of nitrites, and which other thing do we? Iron. If there is sometimes all you need to do, just reduce the water a bit, top it up, and aerate. Let them have oxygen so that these things will take it. They breathe fresh air in. So it's important you have that. Now let's talk about our honorable parasites. Oh my God, what it has done. Some videos, they are too heavy. I can't share them here. When you look under the microscope and you see this thing, and you'll be like one tiny fish, and you see millions, and you see them feasting on this innocent. What I am saying, you can't see it because you just see some tiny things that just one press can squash them. But when you see them under the microscope and you see the way these parasites are going into their gills, going into their operculum, all over their skin, and I have noticed that such set of fishes, those that didn't die, they can become very hardy, but they won't grow. Their weight would, you to look as if you think the feed they are giving them is bad, but no, it's parasites. But these things you can't know, except people with inner eye. So parasites is very, 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 very important. So I've talked about that for spawning. Now I even dare say, when we are taking care of children in their toddler time, we will say, oh, we will deworm them every month. At a time we give them dewormer every 3 months. I dare say, including fish and poultry farmer, do you deworm your birds regularly, or is something when you see that production is bad or productivity is depleted, that's when you remember that we've not dewormed? I dare to say that farmers, especially fish farmers, inculcate it in your routine. Deworm them. It's very important. I've seen adult fishes, they were dying in tons, baskets. When the farmer came near and I asked, what is the matter? I said, doctor, my farm is gone. I want to do this for insurance purpose. Let me just tell you the story. And when I was opening up, I was just saying, God, Father, let me just see something to give this guy today. Because on a normal day, before I can recommend anything for farmer, of course we will run tests, but there are times that you will see something on the PM that you can quickly tell them. Now on opening up, I already had 3 tentative diagnoses. So I would have just been a prideful girl and say, oh, this is what is wrong with your fishes, go and use this, go and use that. But no, that will make me a quack. It will make me another quack. Why have they come to the lab? Something just told me that just take their fin, just take the scraping and let's view under the microscope. I didn't see full parasite. I just saw fragments of tapeworm, and I gave him something for parasites. This man didn't come first day, second day, third day. Oh, I was like, hey, everything has gone. This guy don't need the insurance certificate or whatever. So I called. I said, doctor, my fish are doing well. It was just 1 day treatment, not 2, not 3. 1 day. He said they are doing well, they are no more dying. I was happy. Well, and I thank God for opening my eye to see. Because that day I just wanted to give him something, because it was, you will pity him. So I wanted to give him something to use. I didn't have the heart to tell him, call me tomorrow. So without antibiotics, those fishes were doing fine. But I advised him to still come and pick his result, because my tentative diagnosis was valid. Those things were there. They were there too. So if he didn't address it, he would have had a short relief, and they would begin to die again. And you might wonder that, Dr. Tayo don't know what Jare. They've started dying. So I think you get my point. So all what I'm trying to say, that management practice like taking care of your water. Be conscious of your water. Run your water profile regularly, even though you even follow these things that I have said. It wouldn't hurt to, this thing that we've done, let's even check. Did it work well? Perhaps next time maybe we will need to increase the concentration. It's important to do the spot-on check. Now, these things I have mentioned, I have cases like that, fish cases, that we have stopped mortality without antibiotics. Poultry cases that we have increased production without antibiotics. If you can, and same thing for fish farmers too. Wash your vats, deslime regularly. Do routine tests. Check these things. It will save you a whole lot. So I hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.